Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I wanted to talk about something very important, and this is what I believe is the biggest problem with Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, we just saw the release of the brand new DLC 1 map called Dead of the Night, which so far I'm having a good time with. It's not a bad map at all, but I still come across these glaring issues that Black Ops 4 Zombies has. Now, something that I've been trying to figure out is what is really the biggest thing that is kind of ruining this game for me? What is the biggest thing that's making Zombies not as good as it could be? And thankfully, it's fixable things for the most part. The things that I don't like are fixable. And not only did this release of this map really help solidify how I felt, but also RadAustin27 recently made a video called Customization Killed Black Ops 4 Zombies. And he hit the nail on the fucking head with that video, and kind of exactly how I felt about this game and how I felt since honestly before launch. Even before launch, I was still feeling this way because I heard about the systems that this game was going to come up with, and I was thinking even before the game was out, I was like, I'm not going to like that. And I'll explain that in great detail. So, what I don't like about Black Ops 4 Zombies as of right now, and it's really easy to tell what you don't like because there's so many maps. If it was just one map, it'd be hard to tell. But we have 5 maps in this game now. 5 maps. So it's really easy to see the glaring issues that the game has. Now, customization is not a bad thing. I think having a lot of customization is great for Zombies. I think Zombies needs more customization. I'm all for it. But the customization I want is in-game customization. And what I mean by that is stuff that you unlock through the game. I think Zombies should be a mode where you start off with nothing. You start off with a pistol, or whatever starting weapon the map wants you to have. No perks, no anything, no Gobblegums, no special weapons, and you get a gun and grenades. Forgot about the grenades. That's it. And then you have to unlock everything through the map. And maybe if you complete Easter eggs and stuff like that, maybe you can get a special thing that'll let you start with it. Like maybe start with one perk or start with a Gobblegum or whatever, or obviously elixirs in this game. I'm fine with that. But it should be something you unlock through Easter eggs or stuff, not something that you have to pay for. You know what I mean? So I'm not completely against having things you start with, but I feel like it shouldn't be as in-depth as this game mode kind of does it. I'll explain. The Perk System is one feature that I think is not good in this game because of the fact that it's out of the game customization. It's not like previous Call of Duties where you could just hop in, not have any idea as to what you want to do that game, and you can figure it out as you go along. You can get perks and you can choose whatever you want to do, and it does not restrict you. This new system that makes you pick exactly what perks you want to use beforehand completely restricts you to your customization. So although they're trying to do more customization, in return it's just less. That's a problem because you don't understand how many times I'm in a game and I want to change my perk loadout, but I can't because they force me to use the same 4 perks, which is really just stupid. Now you might argue you can use Secret Sauce. Well, the thing is, Secret Sauce you have to spend a lot more points than normal, and it's a random, it's a gamble. I don't like gambles. I want to be able to buy a perk and know what I have. In this gameplay here, obviously, I'm using Secret Sauce. I always put Secret Sauce as one last slot just because of that reason. I always want to use something different, but it is not a good replacement by any means for letting us have the perks all on the map itself. That's not the only problem with this perk system, though. That's one issue. The next issue is the fact that there's going to be no personality between the maps. Now, something I loved about Black Ops 2 Zombies, and I'm going to mention Black Ops 2 a lot because that was one of my favorite Zombies modes, even though Black Ops 2 only really has 2 or 3 good maps and all the other maps kind of trash, I just liked how the mechanics worked in that game and how the perks were not on every map. You had maps that had one singular perk, and that perk was not on any other map. You had maps that had one perk, and another map had that same perk, but no other maps had it. And then obviously most of the maps just had the same perks. That gave maps personality. If I want to go back and play, let's say, Buried, one of the biggest personality sort of creators of Buried is Vulture because that's the only map that has it. Now, am I opposed to seeing Vulture again? No, not at all. I would love to see Vulture again. But it gave Buried personality because it's the only map in Black Ops 2 to have Vulture. So it kind of felt like rewarding to play that map. You were like, okay, and it fits the map. That perk would not work on every other map. Electric Cherry, only on Mob of the Dead and Origins, so it gives that perk some, personality. Even returning perks, they didn't just throw them all on every map. Now, although there's some perks I would like to have seen on more maps, like I think Stamina Up should 100% have been on Mob of the Dead, at the same time, it doesn't really bother me, because I'm like, it kind of adds a little bit of difficulty to the map, because normally I'd be getting Stamina Up with every perk loadout, and just not having that perk is kind of interesting. And I kind of hope they did it more, where it was like every now and then we didn't have Jug on a map, or every now and then we didn't have Double Tap, or Speed Cola, or Quick Revive, because so it adds an extra layer of difficulty. Now, when people complain about the perk system, they get it wrong. I think a lot of people are complaining about the fact that there's no returning there's no, like, the classic perks aren't back, like the removal of Jug, Speed Cola, and Double Tap. I'm not in that same boat. I'm fine with those perks being removed. I hate the perk system, but I do not hate the fact that they removed those perks. They can still have done a classic perk system where there's just all the perks on the map, or not all of them, but you know what I mean, like a selection of them that's kind of fit the map, and just have those on the map itself. And you have to go and purchase them yourself, obviously. Obviously, have more than just 4. Don't just put 4 perks on a map. That is obviously not going to do anything good for customization. But they have over 14 perks in this damn game. There is no way in hell they couldn't come up with a way to put like 8 or 9 of them on each and every one of the maps, and kind of select which perks they want on each map depending on what kind of fits the map, what kind of fits the layout, what kind of fits, the close quarterness. Like, if maps support certain play styles, obviously they'll support that sort of way. Like, maybe you don't have not death perception. You don't have Stamina Up on a map like Classified, because it's a much smaller map. It doesn't really need much running. But you might be wondering, well, maybe I want Stamina Up. Maybe I want to be able to train better. But that's something you have to work around. You have to adapt. It's a different map. It's a different feeling map. So you have to adapt on Classified. Now, I get what they were going for in the whole, they wanted everyone to play their own way sort of style, because all the perks kind of do that, right? Okay. Well, I'm sure you could have found a way to get every perk available on every map without having to put all the perk machines. Which brings me to my next point. Free perks. Free random perks. Now, I'm not saying give away free perks every now and then, like way too much, no. Black Ops 2 did it really well. How a lot of their maps had ways to earn more than 4 perks through Easter eggs, through certain things. Black Ops 3 kind of did it a little bit here and there, but then they also did it with Gobblegums. And I don't want Perkaholic. I don't want Unquenchable and On the House. Not that. I just mean Easter eggs that allow you to get free perks, rewards for doing difficult things like Origins with the dig sites, or Buried with killing the witches. But I feel like Buried was way too easy. I think it should be a little difficult like Origins dig sites. But these maps don't have any interesting features, unique features to their maps that'll allow you to be able to do something like that. Like, I understand 9, that does have a way to get 2 perks, but you can only do it once. And then after you do it, if you lose it, if you go down, it's over. You never get that perk back. And that's like, it's just annoying. It's like, well, I just did all that just to get that perk, and then it went away. In Voyage, you can get an extra perk as well, but you can't get that many, and it looks really stupid on the HUD. And that's going to bring me to my next point after I finish this conversation here. But the perk system, I don't like it. There's already remedies for Jug. Well, not 100% a remedy for Jug. I still think Jug should have an actual armor system, kind of like World War II, but not exactly. But Speed Cola has a remedy, which is nice. Double Tap has a remedy, which is nice. I'm fine with that, so I'm okay with the removal of those perks. I think Jug still needs a little bit of reworking, but that brings me to the next point, the starting weapons. Now, they give you complete customization over your starting weapon, which is nice, but I'm the only one who would rather them just choose a starting weapon for us, because that also gives map personality. That makes a map feel different depending on what starting weapon you have. And now the future maps are just going to never have new starting weapons because we already have a selection of them there. You know what I mean? I was okay with World War II doing it because it was a new, zombies mode. But when Treyarch does it, it's kind of like takes away the enjoyment of, maps having specific starting weapons, and they kind of have that feel because they have that starting weapon. Like IW Zombies, which I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. One thing they did really well was the maps all had different starting weapons. Now, some of them had the same, but some of them had no starting weapon, and you have to get a melee weapon. One of them had the starting weapon of the assault rifle. It brings new feels to the maps that you didn't have previously. Also, the weapons on the wall, they change throughout every map. This game, they're kind of just the same. They just throw all the same weapons on the wall, which is kind of stupid. The equipment's the same on every map. There's no, special equipment on one map. I mean, not 100%. You can get the homunculus and the monkey bombs on different maps. But when I say equipment, I mean the ones that you select on the screen, like the grenades and stuff like that. It would be nice if you had maybe the sentry turret only on certain maps. You had the wraith fire only on certain maps. You had the, obviously, grenades should be on every map by default. But you know what I mean. And then the special weapons. They're really cool, but they have no personality to them because they're just available everywhere. Now, obviously, they have them split off by Chaos and Ether, which is nice. But it's you know what I mean? And then I'm going to go back to perks real quick. Another problem with the perk system, the fact that you sign the perks to generic machines, and then the perks have no personality. They don't. Like, whatever happened to having the machine of Quick Revive or Stamina Up, having their own feel, they have their own jingle, and it's, like, nice and stuff like that. I'm a little more accepting of it in the Chaos story because it's a new storyline, right? And they're complete new perk machines. But how come in the Ether story, why can't, when we assign a perk to a specific machine, why can't it just change the machine to the original perk look? And is it really that hard for them to create new looking perk machines for each and every perk? And I know you might be like, well, they're not going to want to do that for all the god statues. Well, then just have the OG perks on the Chaos maps. I know they don't want to connect the storylines, but that's if they really didn't want to, but they've already failed at that. They have already done so many things that are interconnected between the maps. And you were trying to tell me that it's a problem that they would put the perk machines on these maps? I honestly, at this point, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters because they've already gone to the point. Look at the elixirs. They're literally the same as the Chaos map with the Aether. They're the same thing. They're literally the same looking. They don't have even changed the skin of them. So they've already gone out of their way to make it so it's clear there's not really that much of a distinct difference between them. Obviously, the stories are completely separate universes, but in terms of the gameplay, you couldn't just have the same looking machines. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion, I guess. And that brings me to my next point, just the overall fact that the only things that really separate these maps from each other are the location, the soundtracks, the Easter eggs, and the wonder weapons. That's really it. The guns are the same across all of them, which, when they add new guns in, I would love for them to add them to the new maps and not to the old maps. Now, I know people might not agree with me there. IW, for example, whenever they add a new DLC guns, they automatically put them in the zombies and they add them on every single map. The problem with that is that you have an overly insane amount of guns on one certain map, and it's like way too much for that map, and it's kind of ridiculous, because you have to hit the box and there's just so many weapons in there, right? So how do you compensate it? Well, you take guns out, but they're not going to do that. You know why? Because they already established this weapon kit system that means they're going to always have those same guns on every map. Look at Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 had different guns on every map. You had some guns that only appeared on one map, some guns that only appeared on two maps, some guns that only appeared on three maps. I don't know if there was any gun that appeared on all maps, but there probably was. I'm just, I don't have all the gun loadouts of every map memorized, so I don't 100% know, but it gave maps personality because it was like, look at Black Ops 3, for example. That's Hiroshima. I don't like that map that much. It's not terrible, but it's not one of my favorites. But one thing I really like to go back on it for is for the marshals, right? The marshals are so much fun to use, and the fact that it's only on that map gives that map personality. It gives that map a purpose, and it gives the weapon something that I can go back to it for, If the marshals were on Revelations as well, or on Grad Krovi, there's less of a chance of me ever wanting to go back to Zetsubo because I don't want to play that map to get the gameplay for that gun or to just, use the gun if I wanted to, right? I don't want to do that. So when you put certain guns on only certain maps, it gives the map personality. Now, the only thing they've been doing is wonder weapons in Black Ops 4. That's it so far. They've already added new DLC guns to multiplayer, but they're not even in zombies yet, so I don't really know what they're going to do there, So, unfortunately, I have to say, the creative class system in Black Ops 4 that they've added is exactly what is ruining it. For me, personally. I don't know if everyone agrees with me, but I feel like if they just had it a little bit differently, it would work better. Now, I'm going to bring two other points into the fold. They kind of separate from, the main issue I just mentioned, but I kind of want to mention them. First of all, the Gobblegum should not take up all the D-pad slots. Not at all. 100%, they should not. They should take up one D-pad slot, and you scroll using the top D-pad up and down, and then you hold Y to use them, right? That allows you to use the right D-pad for inspecting a weapon, the down D-pad for doing emotes, and the left D-pad for using your shield. So then the shield would not take the place of the LB slot. So then the LB slot, or left bumper, could be used for your special equipment that you get, like the monkey bombs or the homunculus or the tomahawk on Blood of the Dead. So you don't have to remove your equipment every time you want to get the homunculus or monkey bombs, which is just stupid. So I don't know whose idea it was to use the entire D-pad for the Gobblegums. Terrible idea, absolutely terrible idea. And then the last point I have to say is the HUD. The HUD should be different from each map. Same thing going on with the whole maps don't have personality. And that right there is important. The HUD. They should change the font. They should change the colors of it. They should change the overall theme of how everything looks throughout each and every map. And it should kind of tailor to what the map's theme is, right? Black Ops 2 did that with Buried, Mob of the Dead, and Origins. And I feel like it would be really, really good if Black Ops 4 did that as well. And the HUD just needs to be changed overall. You should not have to see the perks on your screen in the dead center at all times, even if you don't have them equipped. They just take up space. They take up a knowing amount of space, and if you don't even have them equipped, they're just there. And if you get extra perks through Easter eggs, they appear on the left side of the screen, and they're just apart from your main perks. It's like, why? Why? Just have all the perks line up like they did in Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2 on the left side of the screen, and they just go across as you purchase them. And if you want to see where your perks are, if they're which like slot there are, which first of all I don't think that should be a thing, but if you want to see which area or which perk you applied them to, have it so you press the back button or the PS4 not D-pad, like the pad thingy, and it opens up the like menu screen that shows you your different options. They should put the scoreboard there as well. I don't know why the scoreboard's not there, but they show you your different like your items that you have, your inventory. That's what it's called, inventory. And they should appear in there, and your Gobblegum should appear in there too, so you know what you have, and so it's not on your screen at all times, which is just stupid. And they should tiny the equipment stuff. They should tiny that up a little bit so it's a little smaller, so it's not in your face. And the HUD would look nice, and then it'd be a nice looking game that I would support. These problems, if they were all changed, this could be a perfect game. Honestly, it really could, because these maps are so good. I am a huge fan of 9. I am a huge fan of Dead of the Night. I am a huge fan of Voyage, despite the complaints. Blood of the Dead needs a lot of reworking for the Easter egg, but still a fun map. Classified's a great remake, but the Black Ops 4 created class just ruins the personality. It makes the maps don't feel different from one another. If Classified had, let's say, Black Ops 1 guns, which they could have added the Galil, they could have added the MP40, because they're in Blackout. They are in Blackout. You can't tell me they couldn't just port them over to zombies. You can't tell me they couldn't do that. So if you put the Galil and the MP40 only on Classified, it's going to make me want to play Classified more, because I'm going to want to use the Galil, right? And in Blood of the Dead, have an AK-47 in there, because, I don't know, those on Blood of the Dead, why not add it in there, right? Or the Uzi. I know there's already similar looking guns to the AK and the Uzi in Black Ops 4 already, but just add the OG looking ones, right? Add them. They already had the Tommy gun, which was nice. I appreciate them for doing that, and that's only on Mob of the Dead. That's cool. I like that. But that's one gun. They should have done more. You know, they could have had some special looking gun on 9. They should have some special. Why not add Black Ops 3 guns back? Why not add some? Put the Brecci in. They was already in the trailer, so why not have it in Mob of the or Blood of the Dead? Because it would fit the theme of the map. Because the map takes place in between, or kind of does, but obviously not 100%, but it's kind of around the same area as Black Ops 3, kind of around the same time period. So why not give us some Black Ops 3 guns? It would make sense for the story, and it would make sense for the map layout. I don't know why they don't do that. Just throw them in there. You know what I mean? It's not that hard, and I think it would give the maps personality, and it would give them different meanings, and it would make me actually want to play different maps, rather than the only reason to play different maps is for the Easter eggs, right? That's the only difference between them. There's no like features either. Like I feel like there's no fun things to do. 9 is one of my favorite maps because it has the challenge podium, which adds a layer of fun to the map. But there's no other maps that really have those little tiny features here and there that let you just do fun things to unlock special items. Like, why not have a random? Where are the melee weapons at? There's no melee weapons, right? There's nothing really like game-breakingly fun. You know what I mean? Like, let's say Shadows of Evil had the potted plants, right? That you open up and they give you something random, right? That was cool. The Rising Drawk had the gondola. That was cool. That's what Shima had the planting system, which was cool. Revelations and Garage didn't really have anything that special, but they did here and there. They had special map elements like the dragon breathing on the certain areas. Where is this in Black Ops 4? Where is that? I don't know. 9 does it the best in my opinion. I think they do it the greatest out of all the maps. And I can't help but think, but if Black Ops 4 was in Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3, I think these maps would be so much better. They just would. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Go check out Rad Austin 27's video on the same similar topic, that customization killed Black Ops 4 zombies, because I completely agree with him. I do. I really do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.